group called BRIL. BRIL.
Thoughts and help you prosper in rap. But CGI just feel like you're too programmed on being an activist. Are you a man or a machine? Because we don't really capture shit. CPU always need to tell him to speak up in his round when he spits. I know you're not the biggest cursor, but no need to speak like a mouse. When will it click?
Stop that.
Too much, trying to figure out where your mind is at, and just can't seem to control your function. These rappers type whack. And I know he's got great intel, and I can't dispute it, but I'm just thinking he's hardware. I just can't compute it.
Jesus.
Yo,
he went to IT classes.
3 minutes to rip it. You got to go up in gear 1, gear 2, but I automatically came with it. Man, you will lose with all that gas, so when it comes to your drive, I'm breaking it. You ain't conceding.
Man, you lose all that gas, I'm breaking it.
Because I'll blow your whole gear like drug addicts.
Keep going, Recklezz. Keep going, fuck. Keep going. It's your boy Dr. BRIL team, BRIL BattleRapisLife. Here's a hoodie. So Moak versus Recklezz Day Primo has dropped on Art of Rap. It dropped about 4 days ago, so we're here to do the BRIL recap. So make sure you tap in and just go through some of the bars. I'm not going to go through every bar, but I'm going to give a recap of every round and who we had winning the battle. So shout out to Moak and Recklezz. So let's get into this battle and let's see the BRIL verdict. Who won this battle? Moak versus Recklezz Day Primo. Shout out to both of you and shout out to the League Art of Rap. Who won? Let's go. The reason why I really wanted to recap this battle is because both of these MCs, I was there when they made their debut on Art of Rap and their first official battle rap debut. So I was there in the crowd when Moak battled AJ Raw for the first time, and when Recklezz battled, was it King IV? King IV. So it was good to see their evolution. So since their debuts, we were there to the battle that just went down now. They've both improved a lot. But let's get into this. So Moak goes first, and again, I'm just gonna go through just the highlight bars from each round. So he starts off by saying, I've got my notes here, I'm just addressing my notes. Everyone would have thought I caught COVID first because I've been sick off the bat too. Talking about he made his debut in 2019, the same year COVID came into play as well. So he thought everyone would have thought I got COVID first, or I caught COVID first because I've been sick off the bat. Obviously, the consensus is that bat eating is the reason COVID started in China, so it's fire, sick off the bat too. He said I wanted a big plate, but like a lot of places, our rappers working with a reduced menu. I like that. I wanted a bigger plate than Recklezz. He wanted a Tony D or a scoop. I don't quite sure if you want the scoop or Tony D problem yet. But shoot for the stars, isn't it? But he's saying no, I wanted a bigger plate. I'm working with a reduced menu. This was fire. As a football fan, this was fire as well. They said you might cause an upset and shit, and it happens. They said you might do me foul. Wait, I'm going to VAR. I'm sorry, I don't see a Recklezz challenge. What? Don't see a Recklezz challenge. I'm going to VAR. They said you do me foul. Fire. Alright, so this next scheme, yeah. This scheme is up there with Moak's. When he battled Photo Boy, he had the London Underground scheme. For me, is up there. This scheme about computers was fire. So I'm gonna run through this scheme here. Listen. So you're a fan of URL, you keep tabs on it, and I'm honored to that. There's 2 bars already. URL, you type in, keep tabs. You're a fan of URL, you keep tabs on it, I'm honored to that. That should really open your web of thoughts, and I hope you prosper in rap. Web of thoughts, web. CGI, feel you just too programmed on being an activist. CGI, computer generated imagery. CGI, feel you're too programmed to be an activist. Are you a man or a machine? And then he goes on talking, he talks to a man like P now, so CPU, you gotta tell him to speak up when he spits. A CPU is an electric device that sends instructions on the computer, so he's actually, it's a bar within a bar itself. He's talking to C, he's talking to P, that you got to tell him to speak up, and the CPU's instruction. What? And he keeps talking. The thing about this scheme, it's a computer scheme, but it's not just random shit. He's talking to Recklezz about improving his rapping ability at the same time. So you go, I know you're not the biggest cursor, but you need to speak. But you need to start speaking like a mouse. When will it click? Mouse, click, cursor. It's just easy. You space bars out too much trying to figure out where his mind is at. You need to control your functions. These niggas type whack. I don't need to explain it. And I know he got great intel and I can't dispute it, but I'm just thinking he hardware. I just can't compute it. Listen, Moak, bro, that was crazy. I didn't do it justice. That was a crazy scheme. And to be honest, I don't know how Recklezz can win the round off of that round. Recklezz goes next. He starts off fire. He talks about he's gonna end Moak's reign. Emerson, and for you, I'm trying to be a true messenger. My pen deadlier than Belmarsh with that prison shit. Obviously, Belmarsh is a prison. My pen deadlier than Belmarsh. I like that. I didn't like it when he started talking about AJ Raw, talking about leaving Earth when you and I verse. Outdated bar. Didn't like that. Too tough. He said, I left my yard and got sent to meet a fraud that don't measure up. That was fire. Main course got deserted. Didn't quite hit. This was fire from Recklezz. He talks about how Moak does a gear bars. Funny enough, didn't do any in this battle. But how Moak does a gear bars, there's a gear 1, gear 2, but I automatically came with it. And when it comes to your drive, I'm breaking it. I was fire. But that was the end of the round. Good round from Recklezz, but Moak got the first round for me. So it's 1-0 to Moak. Second round, Moak goes in, you'll lead us to liberation, because in your last battle I didn't see Black struggle. Because Recklezz battled Black T, said I'm sure you'll lead us to liberation. In the last battle I didn't see Black struggle, fire. Then he starts falling and clowning on Recklezz as Black activism. So he's making a few jokes and that. It was cool. You look like Fortnite characters, then you wonder why your world shrinks. Haymaker. Classic activist angle, that was fire. You're not appearing all woke. You're out here appearing all woke, but just like, nah nigga, just lying in your wardrobe, lying. Yo! All this extravagant clothing, you ain't cut from a different cloth. Strong round from Moak, not as good as his first round, but strong, consistent. No stumbling, spat consistently. Strong round. So another fire round for Recklezz to respond to. He needs to get this round. And he starts off the round with Haymaker. One of the bars of the battle for me. He says, second round, I'm still in for the kill. I blew smoke. That's a male gender reveal. Haymaker. Even look at most reaction in that. Haymaker. Then you had the whole computer game scheme, control both sides, see how I switch it. So that was fun. Nintendo Switch. He's fighting back straight out the gate. He talks to Moak about the Black Lives Matters protests, him not being there, Moak not being there. He said you had bars about Photo Boy working for TFL, but when it comes to these zones, you tap in and show fear. Crazy from Recklezz. Recklezz is a lot better. If you watch Recklezz first battle to now, the step up is mad. This was fire. You do poetry, so when you heard, you should have reacted with a click of a finger. So obviously in poetry, that's one of the main things. Click finger reactions, fire. You do poetry, so when you heard about the protest, you should have reacted with a click of a finger. That was fire. I don't know why I started taking shots at Dr. BRIL. He said Dr. BRIL named you Murder Moak. Sending lies, yeah. After that, after the click of the finger bar. And by the way, I named him Murder Moak for a reason. Yeah, everyone's seen the Photo Boy battle, yeah. So I don't give a damn. But yeah, after the click of the finger bar, the round went a bit flat from Recklezz, and he ended it not with a choke, but it wasn't clean. It looked like he's forgetting his round, but he went over the time limit anyway. So if it weren't for that, I think if he ended the round, the click of the finger, he had like another couple stronger bars after that. I could have given him the second round too. It's just the way he ended it wasn't clean. And as a BattleRap purist, I cannot give Recklezz that round, so I gave that round to Moak as well. But Recklezz had some, as I said, the click of the finger bar, the blue smoke, the zones tapping in bar, fire. So it's 2-0. I got 2-0 to Moak going into the third. Let me know if you agree or disagree. But at the moment, it's a great battle. The third now, you rebuttals. Moak goes off rebattling his Prada line. He didn't come up with the gears. Yeah, this is fire. Didn't come up with the gears. Why would I give recognition when you don't deserve it? That was fire. This was hard. He said a line about, he started talking about Recklezz and how he can improve his delivery or how he raps his bars. And he said he should talk more, you know. He should talk from his soul, from his core. He says you should make your delivery you should make your delivery come from your stomach like a C-section. Delivery should come from your stomach. Fire. Hard. You're out here schooling everyone, but you're the one missing out on the key stages. Talk that GCSE key stages shit. He ended the round with a fire algebra bar and a small bubble bar as well. So he ended the round on a high as well. Recklezz goes in. This was hard. I'd rather be on the shelf than a sellout. Now it's hard. This was hard. Top boy blue story. This should make black, red, and green story. That's Pan-Africanism. He said, "Okay, I'll wear suits and you have guns in your jeans. I'll tux different." That was hard as well. Recklezz comes out fighting every round. This doesn't get a big reaction, but I thought it was nice. So obviously the photosynthesis bar from Moak is legendary in rap against Photo Boy, and then Recklezz tries to flip it, saying how her mum had to watch her seed grow through the dirt and she won't get to see her son. That was hard. I think that was hard. I don't know if people didn't go science at school in the crowd, but that bar was hard. Deserved a better reaction. This was hard. I typed the word black so much. Excellence, love, power, my prediction words. And then he ended the round talking about black people building. So I ended the round, he starts talking. As a BattleRap fan, it kind of took away from his round, I'm not going to lie. I know he was just talking at the end. He could have done that in an interview or something, I don't know. But I love the message that he was sending, talking about the struggles going on in Nigeria, around the world, the whole black people building each other. It just took away from his round a little bit. If I'm going to be critical, am I being too harsh? Let me know, I'm not sure. But there is debate to say Recklezz got the third. He did have some maybe harder bars than third. Then Moak, arguably, what is it? It's quite, the third round is close. It's the closest round. It's close. Edge it to Recklezz on the second watch. Maybe after a couple more, maybe I might give it to Moak. But at the moment, I'm saying 2-1 to Moak. But shout out to both of you. This was a great fire battle. Shout out to R-Rap. Shout out to P and Tan. This was a crazy battle. And to both MCs, been there from the start. BRIL been there from the start. To see this was a bit surreal. So shout out to you. So hopefully there's more in the tuck for these two in the future. Let's see some more battles. Obviously, all COVID dependent, but this battle was crazy. There were some bars in this battle, as I said. Some bars I probably were crazy. The computer scheme, crazy. 2-1 Moak. Let Dr. BRIL know if you agree or disagree. 2-1 Moak. I didn't say murder Moak. Another point I just wanted to mention, Moak didn't do any gear bars in this as well, so he tried to steer away from that. He tried to steer away from that at the same time, so respect for that. And Recklezz is stepping up. One thing about Recklezz, he just got clean up. There are a few reaches in there. And then if you saw each round he starts strong. And then he kind of wears off and he comes back strong again. I just want to see a straight fire round from Recklezz. Just really zone in on your right end, bro. Like, as you see here, taking bits off from each round. Crazy. So you put it into a round. Just keep working on your pen, basically. You're getting there. And Moak, the same. You're getting there. So yeah, that was a BRIL verdict. Let us know if you agree or disagree. Make sure you click subscribe if you're new to the channel. And shout out to our rap for finding this battle. But yeah, BRIL shit, BattleRapisLife. Keep it BRIL. BRIL wanna hear bars.
Throw it and rewind. The poetry's refined, going in fine. Every time you get a loaded line, a Corona gets a line.